Yo, what's good, everybody? Welcome back to Elders Boxing. We're back again with another weekend recap, and we got some news and notes. Salute to everybody coming through. I appreciate the time. I want to give a big shout out to my playback, man. Salute to you guys. You know what I'm saying? Rocking in. I appreciate it. Yes, sir. We'll get to it. My man, Blunt Sports in the building. What's good with you, bro? Salute. Yeah, I saw that. I saw that. I know I was hearing rumors about it, but yeah, that's cool. I mean, he locked in with Turkey, so that's what's up. Hopefully, we'll have a great undercard. I like that fight too because it's two of the bigger names in boxing. You know what I'm saying? And they're young enough to. You know what I'm saying? They're in their primes per se, and we don't normally get that a lot. So yes, sir. You ain't gonna see me shitting on the fight. I know a lot of people will shit on the fight because they don't fuck with Shakur. You know what I'm saying? And then look, this is the thing. A lot of people that don't fuck with Shakur, they're gonna be riding for Teofimo, and he's a known racist. That's how that shit works. You know what I'm saying? Then you gonna start saying videos about Teofimo is this and that. You'll see. You know how the game is. We're gonna keep it going though. Salute to everybody coming through. You know what I'm saying? You know how to add my spice to it. All right, so a recap. What is it? We're gonna go back to the 28th, Friday. So we had Egas Kavalauskas, the Mean Machine, versus Sam Malena. This was in Lithuania. This was a homecoming fight for Egas Kavalauskas. Yo, I thought he lost this one, bro. I thought he lost maybe like 7-5, 8-4. I thought Molina did enough to win a lot of those rounds. They ended up giving to Mean Machine. He got a man. This is a hometown decision. Let's keep it a buck. He won by split decision. Now I know his last fight against Sissoko, he thought he won that fight. He dropped him like 2 times, knocked him out the ring, and he still lost on the scorecard. So I don't know, maybe this payback. But this was actually a big win for Egas because in welterweight, I mean, he's still in the mix. You know what I'm saying? Um, yeah, I think it's still wide open, to be honest, because there's a lot of guys in this same type of bubble that can kind of get to the world title. So, yeah, he needed to win. I thought he actually lost, but we'll see. Hopefully, Molina gets something bigger next or get something else because I thought he actually won the fight, but it is what it is. He said facts. Yeah, you know how it be. Yeah, it's all good though. Here's a card from South Africa. So the main event, we had a IBO, IBO, and IBF eliminator. The IBO title at 115 pounds, and then the IBF eliminator. That was the sanction for this fight. So you had uh, Malaka Jika versus Paris. Yo, Paris got out to a good start. He dropped my man in the first round. You know what I'm saying? And then he was rushing everything after that. And he was rushing so much, he gave my man, the champion, that South African fighter, gave him an opportunity to get back in the fight. It took him a couple rounds to get his rhythm, and then he just outboxed the shit out of him the rest of the fight. So I think I scored in 9 rounds to 3, but he got knocked down. Paris is a guy that been around. You know what I'm saying? Been around, but he came up short. He was looking for one big shot at a time, and he came up short. So, my man, I can't pronounce his name, Malajika. Yo, the kid can fight though. You know what I'm saying? So he put himself in a position to possibly fight for the vacant IBL title at 115. So just a little landscape of 115. Ben Rodriguez is the 3-belt unified champion. Last week he beat up on Puma Martinez, took his WBA. He already had the WBO and the WBC, so he got one belt left. That's that's the IBF. So the IBF champion, Willibardo Garcia, he's going to fight Kenshiro Taraji December 27th on that anyway card. Excuse me, on the anyway card. So the mandatory for the IBF is Andrew Maloney. You know what I'm saying? Andrew Maloney got an insurance that he's going to fight for the IBF title. He's going to fight the winner between Garcia and Kenshiro. So effectively that's blocking the undisputed reign for Bam Rodriguez. So Bam, he got a decision to make. Is they going to try to get Maloney to take step aside money, or will he just move up to 118, vacate his titles, and pursue a third division? So if that happens, if he move up, uh, you know what I'm saying, then Maloney is out of a big ass bag. If I'm Maloney, I'm trying to negotiate with Bam and try to get a fight guaranteed to fight him. If he wins, guaranteed to fight him because you get a bigger bag. If Garcia wins, if he beat Kenshiro, that fight probably going to Australia. Garcia's not a big name and don't bring a lot of money to the table. If Kenshiro wins, Maloney going to Japan probably and fight, and he gonna lose out on a big bag. So it's a possibility that the winner of Kenshiro and Garcia be like, "Fuck it, I'm just gonna fight Bam anyway because that's the biggest bag in the division," and then leave that title vacant. If that does happen, and then Maloney and the South African fighter will fight for the vacant IBF. I know that shit long winded, but hey, this shit is complicated, bro. You know what I'm saying? I be trying to break it down as simple as possible so everybody can get it. So yeah, when we talk about the business of boxing and stuff like this, politics, it's in every division. It's in every division, and that shit is crazy sometimes. So it's not a guarantee that Bam Rodriguez will get undisputed, but we'll see. We'll see. Moving on. We have this card in Thailand. So this is opening up the WBC convention. Saladin, he stopped Kansan. This card, I actually seen this on YouTube. It was a lot of fights this weekend. This one's on YouTube, so you want to go tap in. There you go. Canada. This card was on Triller. I know Steve Rose is on the card. He got a win on the card. You know, he's a French contender, gatekeeper type of guy. He moved down to 154. So, yeah, that's what's up. This was a solid card, too, from Pakistan. Wasim versus Jairahu. This fight right here, bro, it's crazy because Jairahu dropped Wasim 3 times. Yo, that's rare in a 12-round fight to drop a guy 3 times and actually lose the fight. And that's what happened. Wasim got dropped twice in the first round. He was hurt too. And then he ended up weathering the storm. Then the fifth round, he got stopped again. And then he kind of, I thought the fight was close. Could have went either way. The knockdowns made it close. Jesus Sriracha, he beat Pete Dobson, you know, in a 10-round decision. So yeah, you know, Pete Dobson is just a gatekeeper type of guy. He's not gonna get stopped, but he'll come in there, he'll give you some rounds, and you know, but he always do enough not to win. Mahmoud versus Anaya. Mahmoud won that decision victory. He won a WBA gold title, welterweight gold title. Baez, he beat Demagati. You know what I'm saying? That was like the upset on the card, but it was pretty much 50-50 in my eyes. Then Kelly, he got like a fourth round stoppage. So this card has some notable names on there. You know what I'm saying? It was pretty interesting and solid fights as well. So a little recap on that one. My bro Mike in the building. What's good with you? I hope you do. If anyone needs deserve undisputed right now, it's Bam. Yeah, man. They got to make it happen. Oh, I haven't heard anything about Top Rank's new deal. I hope so. I hope so. That's a good deal right there, especially if Top Rank go there. But I haven't heard anything. See Pacino in the building. What's good with you, bro? Salute to you. Appreciate you coming through. Appreciate everybody coming through. Salute to you guys. All right, this is GBM. So Kraus versus Abraham. Kraus, he had a highlight reel knockout over this kid. Nasty. He stopped him. That was a nasty knockout. Huey Fury got a win. You know, Huey Fury, I don't know what's going on with his career, but I like to see him get in the mix with all those Queensberry heavyweights. See if he can fight one of those guys. I don't know. So yeah, this was GBN right here. Boxer. Here's the boxer card. It was on. I watched it on Triller TV yesterday in the U.S. So this fight got rescheduled from October 25th to yesterday, the 29th of November. Here's the full card right here. You know, a lot of the young guys got win. Well, Coda He beat that guy Dalton. That was a good fight though. They had a real good. I think it was a ninth round. One of those rounds was like a real good ass round. Fire. Jack Massey, the cruiserweight contender, French contender. He had a tough fight early in the fight. He got dropped in the first round. Garcia dropped him, but Massey came back and stopped him in the fourth. Uh, Francesca Hennessy, the one to be dancing to the ring and shit. She did the same thing. She beat a former world champion yesterday, her biggest win of her career. Beck She beat her by unanimous decision. She boxed real well. You know, she got some skills. No, don't got no power like that, but she got some skills. But it was an important fight because she won the WC International title, bantamweight. So that's at 118 pounds. So we know we got undisputed champion at 118, Shanika Johnson. So maybe she get in the mix. But boxing is just crazy right now. But main event, Clark versus TKV. This is a very sloppy fight, bro. Two sloppy heavyweights. I thought Clark got out to a good start though. I thought he was better technically and probably could have put a little bit more umph in his punches and stuff like that and have better work rate. But these guys both sloppy as hell. And then TKV started to win some of those rounds. In the 11th, though, that's where the drama came, where he hurt uh, Clark. I don't know how Clark made it through that round because he had probably like a minute and a half to go, but he made it through. But he was out on his feet for the remainder of the fight. He ended up not even getting dropped. That's crazy, and he made it to the end of the fight. TKV won this fight by a split decision, so he moves on. Frederick Clark, I don't know, bro. He's he's done it at a certain level, and he's older, so it's like that Fabio Worley fight took a lot from him, as we expected. And the fight it wasn't a good fight, honestly. If I was to tell somebody to go back and watch this fight, go back and watch the 11th round. That was the highlight of the shit. But TKV had my man hurt, but he was too tired and sloppy enough to get the finish. And when he was ready to go, all he had to do is settle down. But yeah. So TKV is in the driver's seat. People might be calling to fight him. I already seen that David Allen talking about fighting him or whatnot. I don't know. We'll see. Oh yeah, he did him dirty. That was nasty. That was nasty. Cross versus Whitaker would be fun in the future. Yeah, if they can make it, yeah, that would be fun. Good little domestic. Ben Whitaker versus Gavazzi. I mean, easy money. Here's the card right here. Milliman's got a win. Zephyr Barrett, he beat Liam Dillon. That was a tough fight for him though. Suleiman got a stoppage. Marlon McCann got a decision win. Bowen, he got upset. That Tom Cowan guy, he alright. He was. It was like Bowen was landing the hardest shots, but he was also taking a lot of shots. You know what I'm saying? This dude Cowan was putting the beats on him. He got dropped in the 5th round, but he got up and weathered the storm, and he won a 10-round decision in an upset. So that's what's up. They might run that back. Vaughn versus Gwen. Another competitive fight. Vaughn got off to a good start boxing, and then Gavin Gwynn just started walking him down. He didn't respect his power. I thought Gavin Gwynn won this fight, to be honest. But Vaughn, the blueprint is out on him. He don't got no power, and he can't handle the pressure. So when they talking about moving him along in his career, he's gonna have some issues because guys see that fight, bro. Even if you're not a come forward fighter or a pressure fighter, you see him how he can't crack an egg and he don't like pressure. So you'll make a boxer want to come forward. A boxer that got skills and know how to defend himself on the inside. They can walk him down all night. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. But that fight went to a draw. So the rematch went to a draw. The first fight, I thought Gavin Gwynn won that fight too, to be honest. But they was happy with the draw. Ben Whitaker ran through Gavazzi. I don't know if it was a statement, but that's what you do with that level of competition. Get him up out of there. This was Ben Whitaker's matchroom debut. You know what I'm saying? So nice. He first round knockout. He didn't waste no time. Wasn't showboat, none of that shit. He got to business. He dropped him in the round, and then when he got up, he finished him off. Clean right hand. they finished the fight. Ben Whitaker, I like him though. I always said though that clowning shit, bro. That dude was just having fun selling shit. He really can fight. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, so he moves on. It's talked about him fighting, in the U.S. next. So my man mentioned Blunt Sports that uh, Eddie Hearn is going to promote the Teofimo and Shakur card. So that him being on there is a good look. You know what I'm saying? I was thinking more so the February 28th card with Navarrete and Sugar Nunez. And I know he's not Mexican, all that shit. And maybe it would make sense for him to fight in New York on Shakur's card. I got it. But like to broaden your fan base, because Arizona, they're gonna come on and support that card, that main event, Navarrete and Nunez. So maybe fight like a Mexican. So I said, what's his name? Manuel Gallegos, the kid who had 2 fights with Khalil Cole. You know what I'm saying? Come on, fight that Mexican. You know he gonna come to fight. It's like a step. It kind of maybe a step up from it's a step up from this fight right here, but just to get another fan base. But shoot, if he fight in New York on that card, shoot, that's good too. Get him a solid opponent. I'm not thinking nothing crazy. The reason why I'm thinking he gonna fight in February is because if he fights in if he fights on the Shakur card, that's a Riyadh season card. They're not gonna give him no easy money. They're gonna try to get him a tough fight. And the way Eddie been talking about building his career, I feel like the Arizona card in February probably make more sense for the level of opponent that they want for him. You know what I'm saying? So we'll see. But I think Ben Whitaker gonna be a future star champion. Depending how the division moves, he ain't beating Benavidez right now. But he can. I think he can do some work with those UK fighters. Yard seems diminished enough where he can get some good bump with Whitaker. But Waxy didn't look good in his last fight. Um, Maybe Calvin Smith eventually. He's 35 years old, so yeah, Ben Whitaker is next. We'll see. I like the performance though. He got to do up out of there. He didn't have an answers for the pressure. It just looked like the first fight. Yeah, he was holding. You know, He was trying to stab jab, but that shit won't do nothing because they don't got no power. Yeah, they got Stockton to Vaughn. Let's see how look, man. They might not even get to a point to cash him out. He gonna lose before he get cashed out. We'll see. He lost going straight back. He didn't use enough angles and was holding too. There you go. You on that shit, bro? Yeah. I don't know why Whitaker be getting hate. He was so talented. I'm a fan because the guys in the UK and the fans and the commentators they don't like showboat. They want you to go in there and put your mouthpiece in. They call it gum shield. Put your gum shield in. Go fight. Be tough. Get beat up. Come back. We'll love you. But he was showboating, and they don't like that shit. So that's why. Well, we love that shit over here. He's tight with Jack Kairos on surprises. Man, that shit don't rub off. That shit don't rub off. He should have beat Glenn. Nah, I think it's the power, yo, and the power. When you don't got the power to get nobody's respect, dude's gonna walk you down. Oh, I like that matchup. To fight for Ben, that would get him, a different fan base, right? You know what I'm saying? Because look, eventually he said he gonna fight Benavidez. So a lot of the Mexican fans they get introduced to you, and it's in Arizona. Peep game, it's in Arizona, so you can kind of market that fight down the line. This is a potential opponent of Benavidez. Um, and then Mexican fans may eat it up, especially going there and beat up on a Mexican. And I don't know. Y'all know how that shit works. It's marketing. It's other. And then I thought about two. Well, somebody gave me another name, which I like. Salute to them. Um, they said Ronald Graville. That makes sense too, because Ronald Graville, he's living off that Benavidez fight, the first fight when he dropped Benavidez with a jab. He's been living off that. If you go to his social media, you're gonna see like 10 different clips of that. That's a good opponent for Ben Whitaker. You know what I'm saying? And he got a style for Ben Whitaker to get nice off of. And then I said another name, Jose Uzcategui. Now that's his name value. He's a former world champion. he got that same type of style where Ben Wilker can shine. So those are type of names I'm thinking about for him to come over here and fight. Maybe some other names you guys may can think of too, but I ain't thinking of nobody so crazy. Just something to showcase him to a different fan base. You know what I'm saying? I think he can handle it well. I don't like the hate Ben Whitaker getting people failing to realize this is a showcase fight. Yeah, this is a welcome to Matchroom fight. It was for the silver title too. I want to see him run with. Oh yeah, that'd be nice. Yeah, yep. Let's do that one. Opplin LD, what's good with you? Reef in the building, salute. He said, yeah, I'm with you, Dub. That's a great forward thing. That's what I'm saying. Like, that's how you promote to me. You know what I'm saying? Seeing boxing, what's good with you? Salute. Yeah, go to Arizona and don't call. You don't gotta call out Benavidez, but at least let them know you here, type shit. All right, so this is a Cuban card. It was on YouTube, Aegon Sports. If you guys miss it, if you want to go back and watch it, feel free. You know, Cuba. This was actually the fight card in Cuba. So recently, a year or so ago, Cuban opened up. You know, where you can do shows, pro boxing in Cuba. So this is one of those. Here's a card. A couple of Olympians on the card. One who stood out was Masoud Galim. Yo, he had a nice win, nice knockout victory. He fights at 130. That was a good win for him. Lazaro Alvarez, I didn't like his performance. And then Erislandy Alvarez, that's the one I came to see. I didn't like his performance either. I don't know if he was playing around or what, but I didn't like it. He ended up getting dropped in the ninth round, but he got a decision win. So, I thought I was expecting more from Erislandy Alvarez because I seen fights before. He nice, but I don't know. He was kind of like going through the motions type shit on this card. Last night, so we had so this was a card in Temecula, California, promoted by Manny Pacquiao. We lost the main event. Elijah Pierce pulled out the fight against Lorenzo Power because he was sick. You know what I'm saying? I guess he couldn't make the weight or whatever. So that fight got canceled. So Manny Pacquiao's son, he was the main event. And he got a lot of hype because he's Pacquiao's son, but he is a novice fighter. He won 4 rounds with this guy, Lally. I thought Lally won the fight. You know what I'm saying? I think I gave Pac Jr. round 2. So it ain't really much to talk about. These are prospects. Here go up and coming guy that was on the card, Terry Washington. He had to step up fight against his Mexican fighter. He boxed real well. You know what I'm saying? Even though he got the haircut like my man off of Nutty Professor, Reggie. He got a haircut like Reggie, but he can fight though. He a southpaw, tall, rangy southpaw. They got a little pop. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, he got a win last night as well. Pro Box. Y'all know I get down with Pro Box. Pro Box go crazy. The UK crew tapping in. Man, I appreciate you, man, coming through the building. Salute to you. Appreciate that. Kind of off topic, but no, it ain't never off topic. You good, bro? Wilker got I seen that, yo. They said he was like, why you take the IBF International? I understand. Some people said Ben Shalom did that shit. Ben Shalom, we ain't see Ben Shalom like that. No, actually, Ben Shalom, he was wilding. He supposed to promote both fighters, Frazier Clark and TKV, but he in the corner of Frazier Clark giving him advice like he down a man with Stewart or something. It's crazy shit. But yeah, I seen that, yo. They got him last night. They stole his IBF regional. Salute to UK. Yeah, salute to UK for sure. Yeah, man, they stole his IBF, man. That's the belt he won under Ben Whitaker. I mean Ben Shalom. He won that when he was with boxing. That's crazy. Yeah, Ruiz versus Quebec. That was fire. Yeah. Um, man, this is Pro Box always delivered to me. I ain't seen a trash Pro Box card in a long time. But y'all have send that shit to me because I don't remember. Let me see. Start with Charlie Sheehy. He got a win last night. He looked actually good last night. Charlie Sheehy been having some so-so performances. I guess that's the reason why Top Rank got rid of him. But he got him when he stopped D'Angelo Keys like in the 6th round, 7th round. Good victory. Carlos Balderas, bro, man, he was on my parlay, but I was in that bitch just shaking like a motherfucker. I was like, bro, come on, yo, because this dude was on his head. Kuros was on his head. It was a tough fight. Kuros fought everybody up and coming. Carlos Balderas ain't it for me. He ain't it for me, but he got the win. Louise versus Quebec. It was a good fight, real good fight. Quebec got off to a good start. She got off to a real good start. I thought she was winning those early rounds. I think the knockdown changed the fight, and then Ruiz started to get back in it, and she got the decision victory. Those scorecards was wide as hell, though. I mean, those shits was pre-filled, 99-90. That's nasty. Quebec won at least 3 or 4 rounds. You know what I'm saying? For real. And she won at least 3 rounds in the first half of the fight. But, this was already a plan for Ruiz to win. Look, here's the backstory on this. Ruiz lost her WBC interim title last year on the Pacheco and Selecki undercard against Jenny Fuchs, the U.S. Olympian. And then this fight was for the vacant WBC title. How the hell that happened? I don't know. Nobody answers the question. Shouldn't they just elevate Jenny? You know what I'm saying? But they leapfrogged her, and now Ruiz is back as the WBC champion. Now she's the full champion. So we'll see. In that division, sure, 115. Um, we just seen the WBO champion last week for Ryoko. She's the Ring Magazine champion. I'll take that. Jasmine Ortega is fighting December 13th at the WBA convention. I'll take that. So she got some good unification she can make. Let me see. Eric Badillo versus Elwin Soto. Real good fight, yo. That shit was back and forth. Good ass fight. I thought Badillo started to, take the lead like late in the fight, like 8 through 10. That was a hell of a fight. Those guys were stumping, throwing a lot of punches. Salute to Badillo because he's the WBC mandatory. He didn't have to take this fight. He already in position to fight for the WBC title, at 108 pounds. He fought a former champion, Edwin Soto, who actually looked better than he has in recent fights. That was a real good fight for Pro Box. That was a real good one. Yakoval versus Cruz. Not a good performance by Yakoval to my eyes. I actually thought Cruz won this fight, to be honest. Cruz, it was a close fight. Let me say that. I'm not calling it a robbery, but I ain't think this one the Yakoval I've seen in recent fights. Like he wasn't as sharp as he was in the Will Foster fight. So he got the decision though. Cruz, I like to see him back. And then Justin Pardo versus Nike Theron. So Nike Theron landed a nice left hook that hurt Pardo in the 2nd round. It was towards the end of the round, and Pardo made it out. He was hurt. He was hurt bad, but Theron couldn't capitalize and finish him. And then after that, it was all Pardo, and he started investing into the body. He was chopping this dude down. He made him quit in the corner. I think those wins is more satisfying than one punch knockout. When you make a dude, when you take the fighting will off a grown ass man, that gotta be dope. You know what I'm saying? I don't know, but yeah, listen, Pardo looked good though. He was sharp. He corrected. He didn't get hit with another hook in the rest of the fight. And if he did, it was something that he partially blocked. His jab was on point, and his body work was on point too. So good win. Now he's in a solid position because look, he's top 15 in the WBO, and last year he was in conversation to get the Keyshawn fight instead of Dos Santos. He was on that list too. So maybe Top Rank can revisit that and make do a hometown defense for Abdullah Mason with Pardo. That'd be a solid fight. So that's not a gimme fight for Mason. I think that would be a solid first fight, but we'll see. But Pardo's in a good position. He got the same management team as Brian Norman, so Brian Norman Jr. So we'll see what's next. That's a good performance, man. He's been looking good since his loss to Medueno. I thought he actually won that fight, but he's been looking good, and he's trained with Ronnie Shields. So yeah, good stuff. Good stuff. So that was from last weekend right there. Let me see. Yeah, yeah, they got him, bro. Didn't even know Whitaker fought last night, and I got the zone. Shit, I was tapped in, bro. Um, Wish I likely Justin Pardo getting picked for voluntary defense. Oh, voluntary defense, maybe. Because I don't know if he's high enough in these rankings to get the mandatory position. But man, I mean, I wouldn't mind seeing a homecoming fight with Mason and Pardo in Cleveland. That'd be dope. Um, he said, I want Pardo to go WC route, but I like the Mason fight. Yeah, WC route, that's cool. Yeah, yeah, go that route, bro. I'm with it. I think he's maybe the like if you look at a lot of guys that get voluntary title defenses, he may fit that mold where he should be able to get one too. Because honestly, I think he may be better than Cordina and Gabe Flores, to be honest. But all right, so today, just a reminder, we got a card on the zone. You guys want to tap into Your Soul versus Amos. That's a welterweight Commonwealth title fight. You guys want to tap in. We got Malik Zanad on the card too. He seems like a future opponent for Ben Whitaker. He do. I don't know. Yeah, he do seem like a future opponent. I know he lost. His only loss was to B-Ball, and V-Ball stopped him. V-Ball don't get a lot of stoppages. I think that was Bivall's first stoppage in a long ass time against Zanat. And Zanat actually put up a good effort in that fight. So he's fighting today. So you guys want to tap in with that. Here's a recap from Monday that I missed out on. Tacoma anyway, he wins the vacant WBC title, outlasting Tenshin Nakasawa. I mean, I like this one. This anyway. This one, he's more of a workman-like type of guy, blue collar type of fighter. Not a lot of flash like his brother and power like Naoya, but he's hard working guy. Now he's a 2-time world champion, bro. That's what's up. And he was the underdog in this fight, so Tacoma is in a good position because he can welcome Bam to 118 and for a big fight. You know what I'm saying? They can do their own card, Bam versus Tacoma or whatever. But yeah, he's in position to unify as well. I heard that he's gonna fight on that December card with his brother. I heard he's gonna be on that card. He's gonna be like a late addition. I'm not sure who his opponent is, but I heard he's gonna try to get on that card. So that's like, shoot, we less than a month. We under a month. That's not ideal, but he want to fight on that card. So let's see if he's healthy enough to get on there. But yeah, good win by him. That was a fight before Arthur fight. Yeah, yep. Because I think Arthur pulled out or somebody pulled out. Supposed to fight Bivol. I want to say yeah, it was for Arthur Lyndon Arthur fight. Yep. Easy work for Bam. Shit, let's go. Um, they calling for Bam to move up to 118. I think it's some solid fights up there for him to try to become undisputed, or there's some good names up there for Bam. But yeah, I think Bam wins too. But I like Tacoma though. He grown on me. He can fight. Ryan Salin got a big win over there too. Salute to him. Real big win. He ended up beating that young fighter Nakano, the southpaw, big puncher. He all boxing, fought smart. He scored a 10th round knockdown to kind of seal the fight. So he wins the IBF final eliminator for Angelo Leo. So, um, man, I always like Raif Salim. He got the underdog story. He never got the opportunity to have a big fight while he was on PBC. He was kind of like underneath. Fulton didn't want to give him an opportunity. He went down to Australia and lost to Sam Goodman. He was doing good early in the fight, and then Sam Goodman kind of all worked him down the stretch, but he got another opportunity. I think he like 35, 34, 35. Or maybe. I know he in mid-30s, so time is now. So that was a good win. Real good win by him. Also on that card, so this Sabu kid, he nice. He beat up on Quadras, and this was his third fight as a professional. I mean, he dominated Quadras, ended up stopping him like in the 8th round. I mean, damn, that was a good performance. So this is Heath at 115. He's coming. He's gonna be in position to fight for a world title pretty soon. Now I don't got him beating Bam though, but he can do some things. So that was a good win. And then Masuda, he got a technical decision win over Calderon with a head clash. It was a cut. So that was that card on Monday. It was early in the morning on Top Rank Classics on Tubi. So if you guys missed it, I think they did a replay of that shit too. All right, here's some news and notes coming up. So this is at 108 pounds. So we got a little switcheroo with the WBC title at 108. We're gonna discuss it. I like Raiz, but if he don't grab a bull by the horns now, it's a wrap. Now for real, if he don't get to it right now, it's a wrap. And the featherweight division is crazy looking. You know, he was on the short list to get Espinoza in May, but they chose the other kid, Vasquez. So and you remember he fought on a couple of top ranked undercards and shit. So yeah, bro. Yeah, he got to get to it. All right, so in the middle you got the champion. Well, I guess he's champion recess now. Carlos Gonzalez. He's supposed to fight CP Freshmart. You know what I'm saying? Um, this week at the WBC convention in Thailand, but he had visa issues, so they put him champion recess. They want to do a world title fight at the convention, so they brought in this kid Zarata Zapata from Argentina. So they're gonna do this fight: Junior Zarate versus CP Freshmart. They put Gonzalez in champion recess, and this is the fight they're gonna have. Now we spoke on Badilio. He's the WBC mandatory. He's gonna get the winner. Hopefully, he get the winner. So yeah, so a little switch up because Gonzalez is having visa issues. So I'm guessing, man. See, that's why the politics of boxing is crazy because you strip a dude because he got visa issues, not because he tested positive for a banned substance. Not because he got locked up and he's doing a bid. You stripped him because he don't got a visa. He don't got a visa to leave his country, Venezuela. That's crazy, bro. To me, that's crazy. You basically stripped him. Champion recess is a nice way to say we stripped your ass. So this fight is going down December the 4th. It's gonna be on the zone, and we're gonna cover that in a couple of days when we break down the fight week. So yeah, so some news for you guys. Yeah, that's petty. Yeah, they was trying to strip Devin Haney after he beat Espinoza. No, Santiago, 2019. He hurt his shoulder. That's the reason why he never really regained his power back because he messed up his rotator cuff in that fight. So that was 2019. We was going into the pandemic year, right? They was about to strip him, and they was about to make. They already made Fortuna versus Linares for the WBC title, for the full title, and Haney was like, "Nah, I'm good." You know what I'm saying? He didn't touch that water that Pacquiao touched to heal his shoulder, so he didn't get stripped. But honestly, if it wasn't for the pandemic, they would have stripped Devin's ass for real. I don't know a lot of people remember that shit, but they was about to strip him for that because he got injured. You know what I'm saying? They didn't even look at his prognosis. Like, bro, when you gonna be back? 3 months, 4 months, 5 months, whatever. When the pandemic hit, it's like ain't nobody fighting, so you can't strip them. So they had a leg to stand on. I remember that shit. All right, Richard Torres Jr. He got offered the IBF final eliminator versus Frank Sanchez. Bro, this shit been cursed. Ain't nobody trying to take the IBF eliminator no more. This shit is crazy. Um, so we're gonna run it down. So okay, Richard Torres, top ranked fighter, undefeated, Olympian. He just had a fight November the 15th. He stopped the dude in the first round, broke his nose, fight over. So here's a backstory of this IBF eliminator shit. So it started with Martin Bakoli. Martin Bakoli was supposed to fight F.A. Ajaba for the final eliminator in February. It was gonna be on the undercard at Riyadh season. He pulled out of that shit because Dan Dubois, he pulled out. No, yeah, he pulled out the fight with Joseph Parker. So McCauley stepped in to fight Joseph Parker, got stopped in 2 rounds. So the IBF final eliminator is still up for grabs. So then the IBF ordered Herkovic versus Fa. Herkovic turned it down to go fight Joe Joyce. Then they ordered Herkovic. No, then they ordered Fa versus Frank Sanchez. That was a rematch. Those guys was negotiating for forever. Finally, PBC won the purse bid. You know what I'm saying? Um, well, after because the FA ended up fighting Bacoli. They ended up fighting in May. So after that, they ordered FA versus Sanchez. There was a negotiation. PBC won the purse bid, but FA didn't like the money. You know what I'm saying? He was the A side getting the 65%, but he didn't like the money, whatever. So he pulled out. So now Sanchez. So they going down the list. So when somebody pulled out of the negotiations for eliminator, they just go down the list and see who is available. So it's Sanchez. The next guy was Moses Tama. He pulled out because he had other plans. He's going down the WBA route. And then who else? Who else pulled out? I forgot who. Damn, somebody else pulled out. No, yeah. So when FA pulled out, FA got dropped in the rankings, and then Moses pulled out. He got dropped in the rankings. Then they offered it to Richard Torres, but he had a fight coming up, so they didn't drop him from the rankings because he already had a fight planned. So they went back. So then they went down the list again. Daniel Dubois, it came to him. He said yes, and then last week he said no. He pulled out. So then they circled back to Richard Torres. So the shit is crazy. I don't know if the fight gonna happen. I don't know if they want to fight for the IBF. I don't know. This is not heavyweight division. Don't have to do a secondary rehydration clause. So that's not the issue. Maybe those guys don't want to be last in the rotation when they feel like they're not even going to get to fight Usyk. I don't know. This shit's crazy. And then in between all of that, right? Derek Chisora won the eliminator against Otto Wallen in February for the number 2 spot. If you look at the IBF rankings, they don't normally rank 1 and 2. It's always one of them going to be vacant. The only way you fulfill that vacancy if you win an eliminator. So whether it's the number 1 spot or number 2 spot. And Chisora is technically the mandatory. This shit is weird. You know what I'm saying? So I think Torres versus Frank Sanchez is a good fight for me. And I think that's a proper step for Richard Torres because Frank Sanchez, he's been around for a while. He can box. He may have a tricky style, but he may be a little faded because of that knee injury. He ain't really been the same since that knee injury. And Cabiel set a nice little blueprint by going to the body and stopping him. So I say take the fight. Shit. Now I know reports came out that Jared Anderson was there too, but Jared Anderson actually didn't get offered. You know, he's in camp with Frank Sanchez with Jake Paul and shit. But he's next. If Richard Torres turned it down, it'll probably be Jared. They'll probably offer it to Jared Anderson. So I don't know. This shit is crazy. Nobody want to fight for the IBF, so I guess it's crazy. He ain't no boogeyman, but I can see that getting pushed. He don't really bring nothing to the table as far as like big bread or anything, but yeah, it's crazy. Adam Azam, he looking to come back January the 31st, so he coming off a knockout victory over a late replacement, Kurt Scooby, and he's with Boxer BBC. You know what I'm saying? BBC Sport. Um, I like Adam Azam. He's solid. You know, fights at 140. I don't expect a big name for this fight. You know, being that it's on Boxer, but we'll see. But he's in a couple of sanctioned body rankings, man. I don't know what Ben Shalom can do for him to get him a title shot. I think he's the IBO champion. I think he won that off Lipinets. I can't remember. But yeah, I like to see him active though. That's cool. Because he didn't really have an active 2025. You know what I'm saying? Because Boxer didn't have a deal for a long time in 2025. So yeah, he'll be back. I'm not sure on the opponent, but he'll be back in the end of January. So yeah, let's see. Um, yes, sir. Blood Sports. Anderson looks in shape for the Jake Paul pictures. Yeah, that's good though. Hopefully he's motivated. Winston Lee, what's good with you, bro? Salute to you. Hopefully, Jerry Anderson is motivated because there's a lot of heavyweights he can beat out here if he's on his shit per his skill set. Ioka got some news this week. He's gonna fight a WBA eliminator coming up. Uh, he got the date. His date is New Year's Eve. He been fighting on New Year's Eve for a long time. I think he undefeated there too. But he's gonna fight Eliminator. And he's a borderline future Hall of Famer type shit. I think he's going after his fifth division world title. I like Ioka though. He can fight. You know what I'm saying? So let's see. I think good fights for him. The one between Donaire and Susumi is cool. Antonio Vargas, Well, these old heads though, I like to see them fight each other. Like, I like to see Ioka versus Chocolatito. They should do a 4-man Legends tournament. Here you go, groundbreaking news right here. Groundbreaking ideas. Do a 4-man Legend tournament at 118. Donaire, excuse me, Donaire, Gallo Estrada, Chocolatito, and Ioka. But here's the thing: Estrada and Chocolatito can't fight no more. I'll put that stipulation in there. We've seen that shit too many times. But yeah, they should just do a little round robin. You know what I'm saying? For the old heads. Let's do that. You know what I'm saying? Something to spice it up. Because I don't like to see the old heads fight these young, hungry guys and get up in there and get destroyed type shit. I know this happens in boxing where the long reigning champion, he trying to come back from one last hurrah. He fight a young, hungry champion and get beat up. And then that's how he ride for the sunset. Like Sugar Ray Leonard's career. The way it ended, that shit was crazy. You know what I'm saying? Terry Norris, then he lost 6 years later to Hector Camacho. But do a Legends tournament. You know what I'm saying? Donaire, Chocolatito. I like to see that fight. Do that fight. Donaire versus Chocolatito. And then do Estrada versus Ioka. You know what I'm saying? That'd be dope. I'll pay for that shit. We'll see. But yeah, Ioka will be back. Now, if he wins, he's in the mix for sure because he's ranked in the WBO as well. I think he ranked across the board at 118. So he's making one last push, and I think it's 5 divisions for him, world champion. So yeah, I like Ioka. Yo, this week they're gonna announce the Hall of Fame who got inducted in the Hall of Fame. So Thursday, hold on, this is the Hall of Fame event in June, but the induction would be Thursday, December the 4th. So we know we got Triple G on the ballot. He's the first. He gonna get in. Triple G is definitely getting in. They love him. Yeah, Chocolatito. Yeah, he might can win that shit. To be honest, I just don't want to see Chocolatito and Charlotte no more. I'm cool on that. But yeah, so we'll get the announcement of who's going to get inducted. I don't know who else gonna get inducted, but I know for sure Triple G getting in for sure. He's the media darling, bro. They love him. For the ladies, it's interesting. Christina Hammer is on the Hall of Fame ballot. For me, I think Christina Hammer is Carissa Shiv's best win. So her getting in, that's what I'm saying, we're gonna hear some more shit about that if she even know. But yeah, I like this though, because this is our Hall of Fame. It can be watered down and shit like that. I know they only selecting what 3 uh in the modern day era. That means your last fight was after what 4 years or something like that. So I know Tara is on the ballot. Uh, who else? Steve Collins is a new guy on the ballot. I think Sean Porter on the ballot. Mikey Garcia. So we'll see who gets in. So Thursday, December the 4th. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna get the news. All right. So the next couple of news stories or whatever. It's some purse bids and some shit coming up. So Man, we've been waiting for this for a long time. Callum Smith versus David Morrell, WBO light heavyweight interim title. I thought this fight was done basically, but I guess not. I know this is a fight that they said Turkey gonna put on, but these guys have until I think is it December the 4th. I think it's December the 4th this week to they're having a purse bid. So I don't know. I feel like this fight probably fits on that Teofimo and Shakur card. Riyadh season. I know they're doing a card there, but they haven't really announced who's going to main event. I think AJ is supposed to main event if he beat Jake Paul. You know what I'm saying? That's crazy saying that, but if he lose, that's a wrap. Uh, Even if he looks shaky in that fight, if Jake Paul have any type of crazy moment against AJ, he probably won't fight in February. I'm just saying. But yeah, I like this fight though. Smith versus Morrell. I think it's like two of the top guys there, top five ish guys, like heavyweight. And let's see, man, this shit been dragging on for a long time, and we haven't had no conclusion yet. So here's one with Gearsoft and Rowley. So Gearsoft got get his legal team involved. He got the same lawyer as Devin Haney, Pat English, and they trying to get their opportunity. Rowley, they were supposed to fight Rowley sometime this year, but Rowley had he said he was injured. He dropped a medical exemption, and we know for the longest time that Rowley and Pacquiao been in play, and I don't know what's holding up. I'm pretty sure this is part of the reason why it's getting held up. People are acting like that Rowley is ducking Haney when they already knew for a long time that Rowley maybe he is ducking, but he ain't ducking him because of nothing else other than he had plans to fight Pacquiao. They've been talking about this fight for man. This has been one of the biggest secrets in boxing for a long time. So got Gearsoft team is like, look, bro, y'all don't have no date, y'all don't got nothing, so we want our opportunity. Y'all haven't gave us no information about a fight date with Pacquiao, which I think they would step aside for that, but it's been prolonging, and it's crazy. This shit is like it's funny when you listen to interviews with Eddie Hearn. He rarely ever mentioned Gearsoft when he talking about the welterweight division. He talking about Conor Ben. He talking about Connor Walker. He talking about Pat McCormick, Jack Catterall. Who else he got over there? Lewis Crocker. He barely talked about Lewis Crocker. So he talking about all these welterweights, and he don't even mention Gearsoft. He said Ben versus Rowley. That's the fight. Man, what about Gearsoft against Rowley? But Gearsoft had a fight November 14th. He stayed active, which is smart. So we'll see. We'll see what's gonna happen. For my money, I think it's gonna be Rowley versus Pacquiao. Maybe Rowley be like he just vacate or whatever, but I think that's the fight they're working on. I don't know the date. I don't know because originally it's supposed to be January 31st, but it's so much shit on January 31st. I don't know when they're gonna fight. So maybe the 24th or maybe even the 16th of January. I don't even know. But that Pacquiao coming back, we've been talking about that for a long time too. And then it got thrown a curveball when they said Netflix is working on Pacquiao and Mayweather the rematch. So I don't know. We'll see. With Gearsoft, he has the right to the title though. I got Gearsoft over Rowley. I heard the 24th. That's cool too. Yeah, I know Pacquiao said the 24th. The 24th makes sense logistically because the only thing they're going up against is see that's some man. If they do it on the 24th in Vegas, ain't nobody gonna be at Andy Cruz versus Mortala. It's gonna be probably like 100 months. Nobody gonna be there, bro. Because everybody gonna go to the PBC card if they do that. Damn, that's gonna hurt their card. But and then because those are two guys that don't sell, Mortala and Cruz, and then you put they're gonna have to go early, yo. If I was them, I'm like, bro, we're going a little bit early. We're gonna start. I want to have our start time early. That way we can be done when PBC starting their show. That's what I do. or put it on that Friday. One of the two. He said, so, yeah, bro. So we'll see. You know, yes, I want his shot, bro. Give it to him. All right, so we know about Matisse testing positive for a banned substance, Ostarine. So the New York State Athletic Commission came out and said that his levels was under the allowable use. So they allow a little bit, but the limit is 0.1. So Matisse, he submitted a sample of 0.08. So he's under the limit. You know what I'm saying? So basically they reviewing that shit. He may not get suspended and go on and defend his title against Dalton Smith January the 10th in Barclays. I've been watching his social media. He been training like shit. He been training like everything's good. You know what I'm saying? And I have a feeling they're just gonna go ahead and they're gonna they're gonna they're gonna bless off and clear him from this Ostarine shit. It's crazy to me because I feel like if you got anything in your system, it's a wrap. Especially Matisse, who actually got a body on his resume for real. So it's like it's crazy. If it's a bad substance, it shouldn't even be in your system. But this is boxing. You know what I'm saying? So comparable to um Ryan Garcia, who tested positive for the same product, Ostarine, his shit was 6.0. So that's a big difference. The limit in New York in New York is 0.1. You know what I'm saying? Let me make sure this math is mathing right. The limit for New York is 0.01. That's the limit. Ryan Garcia was 6.0. This dude was like 60 times above the legal limit. Matisse is 0.08, so he's underneath. He almost there, but he's right underneath the limit. So that's a comparable. When people say, "Well, y'all suspended Ryan Garcia for a year," and Ryan Garcia was way above the limit, and then he actually went to the commission and admitted that he was guilty, and he paid his fine and blah blah blah. So that's a different scenario. For me, I feel like they should just strip Matisse and let him provide a clean sample for a year, and then they put him back in position. Because to me, just having it in your system, it indicates that maybe he's cycling off. You know what I'm saying? If it's that much in there, it's just leaving your body, or like one more day, he wouldn't have been tested for that shit. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. It made me want to pick Dalton Smith. You know what I'm saying? Team Dalton Smith type shit. It's a tough fight though, because Matisse gonna bring that smoke. But Dalton Smith, he has a good opportunity. He's a good puncher. If he can weather the storm, we'll see. But yeah, I think this fight's still gonna happen. So this is January the 10th, Brooklyn Barclays Center, and yeah, the WC convention is this week, so they'll probably bless off on Matisse. You know what I'm saying? They'll bless him off. Yeah, that's the thing. He said facts. Main event come on 7. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, bro. They gotta push that shit up. He had 6. Yeah, there you go. Yep, he was juice. And he tried to like tell everybody that Victor Conte did it to him and all that type of shit, bro. Nah, accept your L. Definitely cycling off. If Dalton doesn't clinch, he'll have a hard time. Yeah, he'll have to be physical like Leon Paro was. Leon Paro was physical. Devin Haney is physical in the clinch. He's strong in the clinch. He's not a big puncher, but he's physically strong. And that right there, where like Devin know how to clinch, where you ain't get no work off, and then he'll hit you behind the head a couple times, or he'll like tap you to the body. So he gonna have to clinch. I think so. He gonna have to have a good clinch game, but he also had to have a good straight down the pipe game because Dalton Smith, not Dalton Smith, but Matisse, when he just start walking forward with his hands down. You know what I'm saying? He just walk forward. Like in the playoff fight, bro, late in that fight, he was just walking to him, hands down, walking to him. I think that's a good opportunity to throw a feint and then throw some heat right behind that shit. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it's interesting. Let's see. And then we have Lewis Crocker. So I think I spoke on his name earlier about Eddie Hearn, but yeah, Lewis Crocker has a pencil in date to defend his IBF title on April the 11th, homecoming fight in Ireland. Um, so that tells me it's not going to be it's not a unification. It's not going to be, it's not a mandatory. He don't have a mandatory yet, but he will get one in January. So it'll probably be somebody in the top 15. So I think Harlem Eubanks. It may be Harlem Eubanks. I say that because he actually went to Harlem Eubanks' fight last week. Like, bro, who goes to Harlem Eubank fights? You know what I'm saying? So if Harlem Eubank is not ranked in the IBF at welterweight, but if he comes into new rankings, and I know I do the rankings like clockwork. He comes into new rankings. I think that's going to be I think that's the front runner for Lewis Crocker making his first defense. Also, too, the winner of this fight. Now, I'm nosy. As a boxing fan, I be all over the place, right? You know what I'm saying? Trying to figure shit out. So I got this from the IBF website. They got a schedule. You hit bouts and go to schedule, and then they'll show you all the title fights they got on the schedule coming up. So December the 6th, this was recently added. Pat McCormick versus Conor Walker. So this week. This in Monaco. Pat McCormick is number 15 in the IBF rankings. He just got that ranking. So I'm thinking the winner of this may get Lewis Crocker a world title fight. That's a matchroom in-house fight. Should be easy to make. Pat McCormick is a tougher matchup for Lewis Crocker, but if Conor Walker somehow wins next week, then I think I think they fought. That's a rematch, ain't it? Yeah, they fought before, Crocker versus Walker. So I think the winner of that may get an opportunity. Maybe even shoot. I'm not gonna rule out Jack Catterall, who actually probably deserve a world title just based off his performances and stuff like that. I think he's in the is he in the top 15? I'm not sure, but Jack Catterall will fit the bill for that. But he's looking for big fights. You know what I'm saying? I can see Jack Catterall versus Devin Haney next on that Riyadh season card coming up in April. So we'll see. It's interesting though. Um, Conor Ben don't want to fight Lewis Crocker because of the rehydration clause. So I thought that'd be a natural fight and the quickest way to a world title for Conor Ben, but obviously I guess they don't want to do that. Um, we're not gonna get a unification because Barrios is fighting Ryan Garcia. Look like in February, and then Rolly. We don't know what's going on with Rolly. He's gonna fight Pacquiao. He's gonna fight Giasso, and then Devin Haney is looking for a big fight. So I don't know if this on his list of big fights to make. If he want to unify the division, cool. But then if he beat Lewis Crocker, he's gonna have a mandatory due because January 16th, Liam Paro versus Patty Donovan, another recycled name. They're gonna fight in Australia, you know what I'm saying, for the IBF final eliminator. So after Lewis Crocker make his IBF voluntary defense, he gonna have a mandatory that's due. So I don't know. He's like the missing puzzle piece. I feel like if you want to be undisputed, you should go get him first. You know what I'm saying? Then work out the mandatories later. So I feel like mandatories in a way, they're actually good for boxers if you want to stay active because you got to make a mandatory defense. But with the IBF, you got to make a mandatory defense every 9 months to a year. So you already know you're gonna get an extra fight. you know, so I don't know. Welterweight division is wide open to me. We'll see. So yeah, that's all I got though. Salute to everybody coming through the building. I can stick around for some questions and we can chop it up about boxing, up and coming events, any sidebar, anything, bro. Any questions? There's nothing off topic. We talking boxing. It's all good. We waiting for this announcement for Shakur versus Teofimo. This has been the worst kept secret in boxing too. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what's the hold up, but I'm thinking we'll probably get an announcement this week. Also, it's a couple of a couple of fight cards that was announced with all the undercards. So I'm looking forward to see what's on these undercards, like Mortala versus Andy Cruz. Who they gonna put on that undercard? You also have Mutazaliev versus Josh Kelly. Who gonna be on that undercard? You know what I'm saying? Who would they put? They already mentioned a couple of fights for the Josh Warrington and Lee Wood card. They said Dave Allen gonna be on there, and Ishmael Davis versus that Fawaz kid. Fights at 154, coming off an upset victory of one of them matchroom fighters. You think Shakur and Tiafimo will be a dog fight? I don't think so. I don't think it'll be a dog fight. I think Tiafimo definitely has an opportunity to win that fight. He got to be a little bit more active, and I don't think he's gonna have to find Shakur in this fight. Or I don't like people think Shakur gonna be moving and doing this and doing that. I don't know if he's gonna do that. Even though it may work for him, I think he can do it in spots. But I think he'll be right there. You know what I'm saying? I think he'll be right there. He's at pre-camp for a reason. Yeah, he's in UFC Center. He's in Vegas. I don't think it's gonna be a dog. Like when a lot of people say, like it's crazy with that because I feel like Teofimo he won a fight. Teofimo want a guy coming forward, right? So if he's pressing Shakur, he can make him fight, right? And even if he pressing him, it's going to set up counter punching opportunities. And we've seen Teofimo get dropped twice by Sandor Martin by a check right hook. So that's a sight in it. That's not dull, right? That's good shit, right? People just say that because look, any fight can be dull. Anybody can sit up here and say, "Bro, man, I don't like them two styles. This gonna be boring." You know what I'm saying? Anybody can say that. Like Jack Callaway, I'm thinking, bro, this fight about to be a hug fest with Echo Usama. I ain't, you know what I'm saying? That's first thought, but I'm thinking Bozy got him on the offense. So what we see, Calderon was getting busy. He was on offense looking crazy. We ain't never seen Calderon, you know what I'm saying, sitting on his shots like that. That wasn't a boring fight. So I don't know. Like your look, people don't want to admit this, but your biases can sway the way you break down fights. That's facts, bro. Look, your biases. Look who. It depends who fight. If it's like somebody you're not invested in, you can break down the fight, no problem. Boom, we got it. But if you don't fuck with this side, bro, you finding all types of ways for the other guy to win. We just seen it last week with Haney and Norman. So it is what it is. Um, Let me see. My man Jason in the building. What's good with you, bro? Yeah, I think that fight done. I don't know what they've been waiting for, but that fight done. Did you see where Daddy Ben and Calzaghe will have beat the Four Kins? Oh, I didn't even see that. Four Kins. Oh no. What's that? The Four Kins. Put me on game, bro. But Ben, I know Calzaghe fought Eubank. He's a fat yeah, bro. That's how they were trying to disguise that shit. You know, he said the Four Kings. What Four Kings? He talking about Chocolatito, Quadras, Estrada, and San Ramosai? Nah, not the Four Kings. I know, man. Let me see. Nah, nah. You talking about Hagler, Hearns, Duran, and Hagler and Leonard? Nah, not in their primes. Calzaghe got a tricky style, but he could. He could. He said, "Yeah, yeah, yeah, yeah." Now he could. I can see Calzaghe giving some of these guys some issues because his work rate and stuff like that. And but I think these guys will all last him. Like Hagler, I think he could give Hagler his style could give Hagler some issues. I'm not gonna sit over here and say Hagler run through him because Kazagi throw a lot of punches and he get out the way. He's slapping the shit out you, but he getting out the way. So will Hagler will have to make the adjustment to cut the ring. That's why I see in my mind. But I would favor the Four Kings. So maybe look, Kazagi, look, so I don't know. Now hold on, now I'm thinking. Kazagi and Duran is a tough style for Duran. That's a tough style for him. A guy moving, throwing a lot of punches and outworking you. So I don't know. Depends on the matchup. Oh, they gonna revisit that? Okay, cool. I'm with that. That's gonna be fun. He said the Kings destroy him. See, that's what I'm saying, bro. Like we gotta add a lot of stuff into it though, because look, how good was a fighter? I don't, man, look, I'm saying if you break it down for real, I don't know about Ben. I don't think Ben beat none of those guys, but because Ben is chinny and he ain't as skilled as those guys. And I think he can get walked around the corner against a lot of those guys. I think Hearns will put the beats on him. We know we seen footage of an old Duran touching him up in sparring. You know what I'm saying? But I know sparring whatever. But I think Duran can beat him too. Hagler will probably break him down and stop him, and Hearns the same. But Calzaghe got a tricky style though, and Calzaghe at 168. Have those guys fought at 68 other than Hearns? Like, well, Sugar Ray Leonard fought at 168. He fought Ladon and Hearns, but he fought Hearns at a catchweight one. I'm just saying, bro. I think Leonard can beat Calzaghe. I think Hearns probably can beat Calzaghe too. I think Calzaghe can get Duran at 68. I'm just saying. Because I gotta base it off Calzaghe at 68 because I never seen Calzaghe below 68. You know what I'm saying? So I think his style, and then by that time, look, there's a lot of intangibles. Us boxing fans, when we hear the past names against the names right now, and we can't go against the past names, we say it's blasphemy. But if you really think about it, bro, and you watch tape, Calzaghe is a motherfucking handful. And Duran is smaller. You know what I'm saying? Kazagi 5'11", throw a lot of punches. Even though they slapping, he can outwork you though. You know what I'm saying? He got a, I don't know. I think he probably can get Duran, and he probably can have some success against Hagler because Hagler kind of warm up into fights. He kind of gets stronger as the fight goes on. So he probably can have a good first half. But I would favor Hagler. I don't know. It's interesting to think about. You know what I'm saying? I get it though. You gotta have confidence in yourself as a undefeated Hall of Famer. I ain't mad at Calzaghe for thinking that. I ain't mad at it. But yeah, Shakur and Teofimo, that shit. We've been talking about that shit for like the last 3 months. Ever since those guys faced off in September at the Canelo Crawford fight, we was thinking about that shit, talking about it. I wonder who's gonna be on the undercard though. I think Hitchens gonna be on there. I got a show lined up for Hitchens, but I mean, man, I don't know. I got a show that I was working on. I stopped working on. I could do that shit right now, but I'm working on something for Hitchens. Where I'm doing. I used to do this on my channel. I got a playlist for this too. I call it what do I call that shit? Process of elimination. So it's basically like I take a fighter and I predict who he gonna fight based on the options out there. So I use a couple of criteria, right? I take the rankings. You know what I'm saying? I take the rankings. If he's a champion, I take the rankings, or even if he's a contender. Then I look at okay, he said he's fighting top of the year. So then I look at the social media. I just do the way I figure out shit. I just do that and bring it to YouTube. Put that shit on live. So I just run down possible opponents, and then I will eliminate. I do my process of elimination by the guys who I think he can't fight. So it's kind of easy if you have a champion like Hitchens. He said he's going to defend his IBF title, so that's one clue out the way. So if he say that, that means we going to the IBF rankings. So I just eliminate possibilities. Okay, he's not going to 47. All right, got that. So check off Devin Haney, Lewis Crocker, those champions, right? I heard rumors about him and Keyshawn. Keyshawn ain't ranked in the IBF. IBF is the strictest sanctioned body as far as with these fighters. Now, if we come into new rankings next month, then okay, then we in business. So I just take what they give us right in the rankings, and I just go off and cross the line out. Not him, or maybe him. Put a star by his name. Going down the list, then I come up with like 3 or 4 possible names that can fit. Uh, Also, too, what plays a part is where he's fighting at. So he fighting in New York. So does it make sense to fight an Australian that's from, what I'm saying, to bring him to New York? No. It makes sense to fight somebody that's either Dominican, Puerto Rican, or from that area, a little bit of both. Maybe that can, follow suit. And I look at the promotion. So there's a bunch of criteria I go through, and then I come up with like a list of like 3 or 4 names, and then I just guess, oh, he gonna fight this guy. You know what I'm saying? I used to do that shit on my show a lot, but I changed my mind. Sometimes that shit get played out, but for me, I sometimes I lose interest in shit quick. Box Lab promoter said Jermaine Ortiz might be fighting the Eliminator. Maybe hitting it. Maybe things change. I know he was going down the WBA route. So yeah, he's one of the names that I'm thinking they can fight Hitchens if it's just a voluntary. Hitchens can't move up to welterweight without a promoter backing him. He can't afford to give up his belt. Yeah, and he can't move up, and he can't use his. The IBF has the same exemption as the WBO and the WBC, where the champion can petition to fight the champion in the higher division. So he can't do that for Lewis Crocker without a promoter, because who's the promoter? Matchroom Eddie Hearn, and he don't seem loyal to Eddie Hearn, so he ain't gonna throw him no bone. So we'll see. Yeah, that's a good point. He need a promoter. So having a belt is his promoter per se. Now he has one of the best managers in boxing, though. He do have Keith Conley, but you know, I don't know. He don't have like a network deal, nothing like that. So that's another. So yeah, I might do that shit. I've just been working on it. You know what I'm saying? I know I haven't been working on it. I've been thinking about should I do it or should I don't do it. I don't know. But yeah, and I got even like my little research I was doing for it. I looked at his recent interviews. He almost gave that shit away. He almost gave it away. He was talking about Shakur and Teofimo, and the girl asked him. She was like, Will you be ringside at that fight?" He's like, I'll be at that fight." He was like laughing. He was almost let that shit go. So we'll see. Um, they was talking about Keyshawn being on that card. Keyshawn versus Nair Albright. I ain't mad at that shit, bro. That's unfinished business. They got a storyline with that shit. Um, Maybe that might not be the best fight for Keyshawn right now, because he's shown he can't handle his emotions under pressure type shit. So, and then now here Albright is a tricky style, you know. But I guess he wanted to get some vengeance for his brother and shit. I guess he blaming Nair Albright for him destroying his city last time out. So I'm not mad at that fight. His first fight at 140, we ain't seen Keyshawn, whatever. He talking about he retired. I hate that shit when these young fighters say they gonna retire. Bro, I lose interest, yo. That tells me you out the game. You gonna retire? That shit's crazy. Yes, sir. He retiring before he even enter his prime, and you won't support? Nah, bro. Well, as Boston fans, we don't care about that shit. We gonna support him or whatever. I don't like when fighters say that. I ain't like when Shakur did it. I ain't like when Teofimo do it. I hate when Tyson Fury been doing it his whole career. That dude retired like every week. He said plus. Um. So yeah, man, we'll see who get on that card. So I'm waiting to see these. So the undercard fights for all these fights have been announced. So we Matchroom announced they announced their schedule up until the end of February, and then they working on some more stuff. So that's cool. We still got a Riyadh season card supposed to happen uh coming up. Oh, I just seen well I asked Jaleel Hackett too. He ain't, you know what I'm saying, whatever. But Jaleel Hackett is fighting December 12th on that Friday. So he's gonna be a part of that fight week of Badu Jack versus Noel McKaylen. Those guys gonna fight December 13th. But they're doing like a I guess I don't know, a build up card for that. Because the promoter Steve Bash, he works with Turkey. So he put on the fight week card for Canelo and Crawford back in September. So Jaleel Hackett was on that card too. So Jaleel Hackett would be back in December the 12th. So I haven't seen the opponent, but yeah, Edward De Los Santos, yeah, he fighting in Dominican Republic. Yeah, tap in. That's on Shawan Boxing YouTube channel. Tap in because maybe some crazy shit be going down on that in Dominican Republic. I seen the referee get jumped. I seen all types of shit, bro. You know what I'm saying? Dudes fighting after the bell. Yeah. So yeah, it's good to see him back though. He got a new management team. He's with Fighters First. And let's see, man. It's been out the ring for 2 years, bro. Shit. We ain't man. And it's crazy. I don't know. His career just went downhill, bro. I mean, it's sad to say, but his career went downhill because of inactivity. I know he was injured. I know he had some medical issues, but damn, I think it was like a combination of shit with him. I'm gonna put this in. Nah, we good. I'll put this in the chat real quick. This is the YouTube channel that he's fighting on. Yeah, bro, they be getting busy, bro. Yeah, the referee stopped the fight early, and the team of the fighter that got stopped. Well, the fighter who got stopped, he he hit the referee with a hook, and then before you know it, his whole family was chasing the damn referee out the ring and shit. That shit is crazy. That shit is crazy. Yo, that shit was wild. What else? Man, we got a lot of shit popping though. Yeah, bro. I'm happy that Abdullah Mason got the world title. Devin Haney came back and shut up a lot of people. That's good shit. You know what I'm saying? With him and Eddie though, look, I understand what Eddie's saying. Honestly, I do. You know, it is comes off as hating because he promoted them and he was building that shit up. That's the link to the De Los Santos fight on that YouTube channel. On that YouTube channel right there, that's where De Los Santos fighting next week. Schwan Boxing YouTube channel. Yeah, yeah. Tap in. Um, I think Devin, like I made the analogy. He said, "Bet yes, sir." I made the analogy like Devin is like he remind me of a football team with a game manager for a quarterback and a hellified defense. That's all they need is 10 points and they good. Put 10 points on the board. I don't care how you get it. Whether it's what I'm saying, you kick field goals, give me a touchdown and a field goal, or give me 4 field goals and we good. That's what he remind me of. Hard to beat. You know what I'm saying? He's not gonna take a lot of chances, so he ain't like you put in football terms. He ain't throwing no bombs down the field. He ain't stretching the field out. He gonna run the ball like 35, 40 times. And then, that's what he remind me of, bro. It's hard to beat that shit. Devin got skills out of this world. He can fight. His natural thing is to fight. If you watch him growing up, he used to sit in that pocket and get busy. Now he's more cautious with that shit. That's a Ryan Garcia effect. I get it, but this the thing. This dude, yeah, bro, he on that type of shit. Yo, so look, Devin know how to win rounds, bro. That shit's underrated. He's a young veteran in the game, but he know how to win rounds. He been around and sparred and been around these gyms all his life, basically. So he know how to win rounds. He know how to get the favor of the judges. You know what I'm saying? That's why he can win a Lomachenko fight real close. You know, he was in that fight with Ryan Garcia. If he was when they got dropped in the last two, I think it was the last time he got. How many times? I forgot how many times he got dropped. 2 or 3 times. But he was still in that fight. So now he basically fought the same type of fight that he fought against Jose Ramirez. The only difference is he didn't move as much. Well, he didn't move. He wasn't doing lateral movement just for the sake of lateral movement against Norman. He sat there with him. But he's smart. He been around so long and he watched the game. He know how to sit right there in front of you and make it appear that he's being aggressive and that he's trying to, put some heat on somebody, but he really not. He really playing safety first. Jose Ramirez officially going to 147. I'm not sure, but if he's still going to continue his career, I think that's the next move. So Devin is smart. He tricked Norman off. He tricked him. He finessed Norman's ass. Because if it wasn't a knockdown, that fight would have been we would have been talking about that shit if they would have gave it to Devin, they would have been talking about it as a robbery. But we cool with it because he dropped him. And then after that, he won 3, 4, 5, 6. He dominated those rounds. So the way he fought the first and 7, I think, the way he fought in those rounds, because he won the first round, he didn't do nothing. You know what I'm saying? Second round, he dropped him. Third round, then the jab started popping. Because Devin got a nice jab. He got that jab popping, boom, boom. So that's why I understand people when they say, man, I mean, he won, salute to him, but I ain't going crazy over that shit. Because if he would have did the same thing he did for the duration from round 2 all the way to 12, then okay, I'm with you. But he started grabbing and holding and he was milking the clock. He know how to play. He's a vet. He's a young vet that okay, all I need is 7 rounds, bro. And then he won round 11. So if you give him eight rounds to 4 or whatever, I think that was the type of fight it was. But you know, he on he Devin he's back. He waiting for the Ryan Garcia. I think that's the fight for them to make. But Ryan Garcia mess around and lose to Barrios. He fuck around and lose to Barrios while you playing. We'll see. But yeah, that's my time, man. Salute to everybody coming through the building. I might be back later on tonight. We got the WBA rankings. If they drop tonight, I'll be back tonight. And then Tuesday we got the pregame show. We're going to talk about the upcoming fight week. It's a good fight week. We got the return of Jai Bataya. We got Pitbull and Roach. We got Janet Beck and Laura. Man, this is a good fight week coming up. I'm missing some too, but we're going to talk about it. Salute to everybody coming through. I appreciate you coming through, bro. Blunt Sports in the building. JC, salute. I'll tap in with you guys later, or we can tap in on Tuesday. Salute to everybody coming through. That's my time, and I'm out.